bright. So bright. So bright. So bright. Promises to be interesting. This promises to be interesting. We are working with statistics. Welcome to this live. Thank you for joining in. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. Who is with us? Hello. Welcome to this live. Where are you joining from? Do you think? Thank you for joining in. Kindly confirm that you can hear me. Hello? Do you think? Oh, do you think? Yes, no. That. Thank you for the live. Hey, Caribbean girl is here, joining from Grenada. Hello, Tony. Oh, very clear. Thank you. Thank you. Tony says, hi, dog, joining from Grenada. You know, I like the colors of your map, your country's map. Combination of yellow, green, red. Somehow I've come to like yellow. I don't know if you have noticed that in my thumbnails. Thank you, Tony. You're welcome. So it's 10:57 a.m. in Grenada. Is it sunny? Is it cool? Is it still winter? Or end of winter going to summer now? Thank you for the feedback, Tony. Hearing very clear. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for voting. It's an interesting one this session. If you notice, it's been really about sexual health, and we actually need to be talking about this. You know, what we don't talk about sometimes may end up talking about us. Okay, and really many people have questions, people have things bottled in within them relating to sexual matters, and especially even between couples, husband and wife. There are a number of issues, challenges, health related, otherwise, many concerns about their sexual health. So I think this is a very important topic we are looking at this afternoon here on this side. It's sunny, we don't have winter here. Okay. Yes, I remember you talk about need to dress to help yourself get enough hair. I mean, different regions with different seasons, and then different approaches when it comes to managing those seasons. Okay, so I believe you are managing it well, cooling down with cool drinks, cool water, definitely cool shower. Do you swim? Tony, do you swim? No, I started learning how to swim. I started swimming, but it's been a while that I got into the swimming pool. That's interesting. Okay, do you swim, Tony? If you are just joining us, let's know where you are joining from. Welcome to this live. Okay, Caribbean girl says, I can't swim. So how do you manage this sunny season, sunny time? You know, it's not raining, so it's dry season now. And then how do you manage this season? Swimming is actually very good. It's some people's hobby. It's actually very good in terms of a type of exercise, aerobic exercise, where it also falls in the group where there is walking, brisk walking, cycling, swimming. They fall into the same group. So it's good. Of course, if you are definitely able to walk briskly. Do you ride? Are you able to? Do you know how to ride the bicycle or even a motorcycle? So that's one of the ways people get to cool down when they go um, swimming. Oh, okay. Tony says she went on a walk yesterday. Very good. You can ride bicycle. Okay. But you can walk, right? Definitely. Okay, so that's a form of exercise when you are able to engage in brisk walking. And it's an interesting one. Um, so how many minutes did you get walking? Carry on, girl. You say you tried riding once, but you can't balance. Yes, at the beginning, of course, it's usually like that for everyone. I don't know at what age you actually attempted riding a bicycle. So if you started when you were much younger, then maybe you could have picked up a bit later or at that time. But if you're trying to learn as an adult, some things are really difficult to learn as adults, you know. But there's nothing impossible actually. Once you commit yourself to it, just make a decision that you want to learn how to ride a bicycle or any other thing. No, you can even fly a plane, okay? Yes, you can. You know, it's just about getting trained for it. So when you get trained, um, you keep at it. Of course, initially it will be challenging, and then when you keep at it, you will definitely get to master it as you do it. So balance is the key. Of course, if you can walk with balance while walking, you know, you can walk, you can do other things. If you can drive, then that means you can also ride a bicycle. Actually, you can. It just takes that confidence and training. Okay, so I know how it feels when you just attempt, you get to try riding a bicycle. You know, when I started then too, I remember growing up, you know, I had that challenge, of course, but I had to keep at it. I can ride a bicycle, but I'm not sure. I've tried maybe motorcycle, but I've not actually applied myself to riding a motorcycle. So, but of course, I drive. You can drive, I'm sure. Maybe to some people, driving is much easier than riding a bicycle. Okay, but they all require some level of training, of course, and then commitment, discipline to learn. So the same thing applies to exercising. It takes a decision, it takes commitment, it takes applying oneself. Sometimes it may require guidance, supervision. You know, when you have somebody that, if for example, if you get to pay someone to learn how to ride a bicycle, then you can apply yourself to it because you are paying that person for the training, and then you will want to get value your for your money, right? Tony, you can try that. You know, you're not old to ride a bicycle. Okay, so that's another form of exercise. Okay, apart from that, skipping, which I do a lot. I enjoy skipping. And there's something that you can do indoor, and you burn some calories. You actually get your heart pumping better and circulating blood to different organs in your body. So a lot of opportunities are available, different opportunities to exercise. Okay, and then Tony says about an hour walk. Yes, 30 minutes is actually what is recommended. 30 minutes, at least 5 times in a week of brisk walking. That's moderate intensity exercise. and that's very important for everyone. Okay, so you can also count your steps when you walk. 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 steps, very good. Okay, that helps to burn some calories. So I don't know if you're overweight or obese. You know, you need to be watching. We need to actually be watching our weight, as that is a very um, important aspect when it comes to managing our health. So if you're going to uh, live a healthy life, we need to definitely look at different areas of our lives. Health is defined according to the World Health Organization as a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Okay, I like that definition a lot. The complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So it puts into perspective every aspect of human life. Okay, so physical, the mental, and the social, and even the spiritual. Okay, so but we can, because we cannot rule out that as a foundation. All right. So, but it's going to be an interesting session. Just laying the foundation for the discussion. If you see the thumbnail, it's about the poll. Some people believe that men have more sexual desires or urge or libido, as you may call it, compared to women. Okay, so what do you think? I can see you are already engaging in the poll, so thank you for engaging. And then I can see the lights. Thank you for the lights. Okay, so Caribbean girl, Tony, what's your height? What's your height? I can see that you say you weigh 89 pounds. Okay, your height is 4 inches 8. So let me do some calculations here. So I'm trying to do some calculations for you so that we are sure you're within the normal weight for your height. 4.8 inches, 4 foot 8 inches going on with my. So are you saying that you're 40 Caribbean girl? Are you saying that you're 89 pounds at 40 kilograms? No. Kindly confirm in kg. How many kilograms are you? Because 89 pounds. Are you sure, Tony? Then height is 4 inches 8. Four foot 8. 4 feet 8. That's 1.422. Okay, from my calculation, you're actually within the normal. You have 20 kilograms per meter square for your BMI, and the normal falls within 18 to 25, so you fall within the normal weight for your height, so that's fine. That's healthy. Okay, so if you're just joining in, welcome to this live. We've been laying the foundation for this discussion, for this session. Let's know where you are joining from, your location and time, and then what do you think? Now, I saw your question. Let me see. Okay, what if someone doesn't have any urges? When you say someone doesn't have any urge or urges, sexual urge, is it has never been there, or used to be there and no longer there, or used to be high but no longer as high? And is this relating to a man or a woman? Okay, so let me know those areas. Very important. If I'm going to be talking about if someone doesn't have a urge, I can say a number of things depending on. Okay, for a woman, okay, if you look at the poll, I'm sure you can see that. Interestingly, initially it looked like for the number of people that have voted so far, if you look at the post I did on the channel, more people have voted for that a male has more sexual urge than a female. Do you think is that true? What do you think, or what do you know? Okay, well, there's one thing in medicine actually that we don't just talk about what you think. We talk about facts. Okay, but these facts don't come out of the blues. They come from people, from individuals, from responses like this. Okay, so for a woman not to be having a urge, was the urge there before, and now she's no longer having a urge, or the sexual urge is now low? Okay, so many things can actually be responsible, whether for a man or a woman, when it comes to sexual urge. All right, the first thing to note is that this talking about our social life. Sex is not anything strange, and it shouldn't be seen as strange. Okay, and it's one gift that God has given to mankind. I call it a gift, yes, because it's part of the makeup from the beginning. It's been planted into man, whether male or female. So that's why the Bible was talking about Adam recognizing his wife and saying that he had now seen the bone of his bones, flesh of his flesh, you know, and calling her woman. Okay, you know, some versions of the Bible actually describe it as Adam expressing that excitement. Wow, wow. So there was a form of attraction that Adam had for Eve, and that's something that generations have had to experience. Of course, from one generation to another, from Adam, we all have it on the inside. Okay, that sexual urge. All right, so I want to test this. Let me know if I've tried it before and it worked. Let me know if the sound is much better than what it is now. I want to use a new external mic. Tony, just let me know if it sounds better when I connect this. Thank you. So I'll continue with my response to that. Hello, kindly confirm that you can hear me, and is the sound better than before? Please confirm if the sound is better than what it was before. Tony, are you there? Oh, it's better. Wow. Then let me do this. How does it sound now? How is the sound now? I just made a change. Just let me know what the difference is between the last one and this. Who else is with us? Does it sound better than the previous? Okay, and I'm going to. Oh, it's clearer. Wow. Now this one may sound like a reverb or something like that. This one, does it come with an echo? I think the middle one seems to be better and clearer. How does this sound? Though it has some foam for shades for noise reduction, but I'm not using that now. But is that echo with this seems to produce some reverb. Echo, yes, I thought as much. I'm going to remove the echo. So Tony, this sounds better, right? This seems to be the best. Actually, there are three options. I've moved it from the echo now. So it's like we are unboxing this again together. Mhm. It's actually a new mic. I got this since last year, but I've not been using it. But I think it will actually serve. Okay, much better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are talking about a woman without a heart. I'm going to start from somewhere, and that question you have. Okay, how about now? How about now? Let me know if it's okay. Is this okay with that wind? Is it the windshield now? Is it still okay? Is it better than the better? Tony, is it better than the better? Hmm, I hope my lighting is not too much. Thank you. Reduce the light. Okay. Tony, can you still hear me? Is it as good as the better or better than the better? Hello, Tony. Okay, better. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, so we are doing this together. Now, I was saying that for a woman, whether for a man or a woman, the sense of attraction is there, embedded by God. Okay, and it's not anything strange. Okay, so though some people have been made, I mean, Enoch, some people were born Enoch, some people made Enoch. But for man, in creation generally, was created with that aspect. There was the spiritual, that's the substance, the foundation, the breath of God. There's that physical aspect, and then that's talking about the body. Then there's the soul, where Bible was talking about God breathing into man, and man becoming a living soul. So there's a big connection between a man's or a woman's body, their soul or mind, and their body. So spirit, soul, and body. Spirit, soul, and body. So that soul now, there is the aspect of the mind, there's the aspect of cognition, uh, there's the will, there's something about emotions, when it comes to that mental aspect. So that's what we are looking at. How that sexual urge affects other aspects of a man's or a woman's life. So if a woman is not having sexual urge, a number of reasons may be responsible for this. Um, Mostly women are emotional. They are moved by the things they hear, moved by touch, and but a man moved by what he sees majorly, most of the time. Okay, but for a woman, the things that affect a woman's sexual desire include the fact that there is a low level when it comes to hormonal levels. A man has that testosterone. That's one important hormone that's responsible for sexual urge or libido, as the case may be. So a woman may not have that. Okay, but if we are talking about not having at all, then such a woman needs to be checked appropriately. When I say checked, proper medical
examination and investigations may be necessary, hormonal and all. But if a woman has had that experience or experiences of sexual or sexual intimacy, but no longer having it, a number of reasons, and beginning apart from the hormonal changes that may be responsible, uh, which may fluctuate, with time, especially with menstrual changes. Okay, definitely, about different phases when it comes to menstrual cycle. Okay, I want to break it down as much as possible. Okay, there's the follicular phase, luteinization, and all. But I will talk about where the eggs are multiplied, and then uh, where the individual, the woman, also has a bleeding, sort of, and then after that, the cells begin to build up again, and then there is the ovulation period, there's the fertility period. So when a woman knows about her ovulation, for a monthly cycle, for example, the 14th day usually is the ovulation day, but the window is open for fertility within that period, plus or minus. So if a woman has some hormonal issues, then she may not actually be having sexual urge as expected. Then another major factor is that emotional aspect. So once there's an emotional disturbance, this applies not just to the female, even to the male, where there are emotional challenges, psychological challenges, then these are factors that can affect a person's sexual desire. Okay, because this has to do with the mind, apart from the fact that uh, different hormones begin to work to cause this. There is that aspect of desire, first of all. And if that desire is not there, if there's a competing matter requiring attention, and especially when it's even negative, there is that uh, loss of desire for sex. Okay, so that can happen. So also for relationships that are not stable, some people actually have that challenge. There's that loss of desire because there's a challenge within that relationship. Okay, so there's no desire for the other person and all. So that's where offenses uh, may find expression, and not resolving issues that may be existing within the marriage. Okay, so this is a major one for female. And then other aspects include other demands of life, physical demands, work life, family, caring for family, business, different things that could distract or burden a woman such that they rarely would have that desire, because they are so overwhelmed and the body is actually requesting for rest. Okay, so they tend to want to observe that. They are so consumed. Women they tend to actually multitask, and so uh, giving attention to different things at different times. And so with this, a woman may not actually have a urge. Another reason would be due to illness. Some illnesses definitely will not make that desire to come. Person is hypertensive and not being controlled. Person that is diabetic, uh, blood sugar levels are not well controlled. These are also factors. Okay, people with some heart-related problems may have this challenge too, because they may have a need to pay attention to their health. Okay, so what other factors? I mentioned emotional factors, physical factors, mental factors, the social factors. Of course, diet plays a role too. Okay, if much of the individual's diet involves junks, unhealthy eating actually generally will affect a person's health, mood, and the ability to actually engage in sex or sexual activity. All right. So those are some of the uh, factors that may be responsible for a woman not having the urge. Okay. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Okay. So if they say men have sexual urge, why? Why? Why do you think men actually have more sexual desire? Why? What do you think? What are the things that may be responsible for a man? Though some people believe that it's the female that has more sexual desire, even though they don't talk about it. Okay, what do you think? Which one is true now? Mm, mm, mm. Let me know if you're still there, Tommy. If you are just joining us, let's know where you're joining from. Okay, Tony says, is the man for you? Hmm. Why? Is it just from the personal experience, or of course, you know your husband and all, but is it from general information that you have that you are saying that why do you say that a man has more urge for sex? Okay, well, I shouldn't say the man in my relation is my husband. Okay, okay, yes, your husband. Okay, for you, it's your husband. Okay. Uh, so hope you don't see that as strange or wrong. You know, some people may see it as strange why a man should have that extra desire for sex. Okay. So if you have other questions related to that, can do, kindly drop in the chat. Okay, the question I put up on the poll in the poll is that, do you think or know that men have more urge for sex than women? Okay. 50% say yes, 50% say no. Huh. Thank you for the third like. Welcome to this live. Where are you joining from? Let's know who is joining. Oh, so different people have different opinions about this. Some people actually believe that maybe it's because uh, a man or men are more usually outspoken than uh, the women when it comes to sexual matters. Okay, maybe that's maybe one reason. So the statistics may actually be in a way not too sensitive. That is not putting into consideration that fact that uh, a number of women are reserved when it comes to expressing their sexual desire. We're talking about a married woman now with her husband. Okay, so but there are many factors that can actually affect or influence a person's sexual drive. You know, one is the genetic makeup. Apart from the fact that differences between male and female exist, the hormonal interplay, testosterone is highly responsible for sexual urges. And so the higher the level of testosterone in an individual, the higher the tendency for sexual satisfaction, sexual desire, okay, and need for satisfaction, okay. And now, if we are going to look at other things, we include genetic makeup. I've mentioned genetic makeup, environment actually. That's another factor. Now, some people have some backgrounds that such matters are never discussed, even though they may eventually have issues relating to sexual life in the future. Okay, but people don't want to talk about this, especially with children. Okay, but it gets to a certain age groups where you would need to start talking to your children about sexual matters. Okay, I said earlier that what you don't talk about, men of talking about you. Okay, and the fact is that God is the one that has put that gift. There is a gift and supposed to be expressed appropriately in the context of marriage. I mean, within the um, marriage context. Now, some people uh, have that genetic influence. Okay, for example, if a person's mother actually had a higher sexual desire than her father, then there's a tendency for such a female to actually have that kind of sexual urge too. Okay, it could be genetic. Okay, another factor is that it could be uh, hormonal, there's a biological aspect. If a female, or whether it's even a male that has some congenital anomalies that may affect the production of hormones in their body, okay, that may also affect a person's sexual urge, sexual desire. Now, there's the environmental factor. Okay, I mentioned that there are places for where such matters are never discussed, and some of these people get to find out outside the family. Okay, so if a person, a woman, now growing up as a girl, grew up in an environment where they were never allowed to talk about sex or talk about anything relating to man, the opposite sex, then it may also influence their expression, not not just the desire. You know, there's a difference between the desire, that's the urge, the feeling to engage in sex or sexual activity, and then expressing expressing it in words, in communication. Okay, so if someone grew up in that environment where it's all about fear, don't talk about anything sexual. Um, Even the parents didn't see any need to educate. Even the teachers growing up, of course, they talked about it a bit, but they didn't, the child or person concerned didn't actually understand what they were talking about. It was not clear to them how they are supposed to be treated or how they are to treat themselves, whether as a male or a female, and then how to relate with the opposite sex, and how it's not supposed to be Steve and Steven. Okay, if there's anything like that, but it was actually Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Okay, not homosexuality, not lesbianism and all. So if these foundations are right, I mean, it's going to be one of the very uh, factors that uh, influences the expression, the the makeup and the expression of sexual matters, sexual desire in an individual. Okay, so that's one factor. And earlier, I also mentioned uh, the emotional aspect. You know, when people get married, you know, initially there's that excitement, planning to get married, and then uh, you now have the license to engage as husband and wife, to engage in sexual matters and all. So if one person, it could be female, it could be male, has some psychological, emotional challenges, this will also affect the desire or expression of sexual uh, health. Okay, so Caribbean girl says it's the man for me. Okay, so that means you believe and you know that men, but from studies, men tend to have more sexual urges or desire than women. Okay, so but from studies, these are some of the factors I've mentioned that may influence this. So especially that aspect of men being more expressive than women. Okay, so but in some cases you have a woman that is more expressive than her husband. Okay, so but I do not see it as strange. Of course, a woman needs to be reserved, but within the context of marriage, there's a need to be expressive. There's a need to communicate, and so that's one of the major challenges that couples may have when it comes to sexual matters. Interestingly, this is something that people come to their doctor to complain about. I mean, the loss of libido, sexual desire, and all. People have these challenges because it's within the makeup of man. That aspect, God put it there. And so there is that need to get it satisfied. Of course, it must be satisfied in the right way, the right direction, with the right person at the right time. Okay. So, but there are also other factors, different factors that may influence how an individual gets satisfaction when it comes to sexual matters, sexual health. And if there is that big gap in communication, then it may affect. If one person, for example, within the context of marriage now, desires to engage with a spouse or is a spouse just to get satisfaction, and they do not know how to communicate or express this, then this may affect. Okay, sometimes somebody may expect that, oh, uh, a man may expect that my wife should know that I feel like, I feel like. On the other hand, the female also, the woman, the wife may also feel like my husband should know that I feel like. No, okay, that may not work. But when you communicate, when you relate with each other appropriately, then that helps. So I was responding to Tony's question the other time when she was asking about when a woman does not have the urge. I mentioned emphatically that there is a major aspect, that's the emotional aspect side of the woman. The woman is trying to multitask, thinking of many things, and trying to handle different aspects of life. Of course, men also are engaged in different activities depending on the man and his level of responsibility. Okay, so but the tendency is physical things, demands, and then gets stressed. So one of the factors that affects not just sexual desire, but even performance, sexual performance, is stress. Stress, and that's any factor that will cause a disturbance in your normal operation as a man or a woman. So anything that disturbs your normal operation, your activities, okay. And some people may move from just being stressed to uh, getting uh, into what do you call it now? When it becomes complicated, they become burnt out. You person can get into burnout when they are overwhelmingly stressed and they are not able to cope. Okay, so when that happens, that can also affect a person's sexual desire, sexual urge, and even satisfaction. So I mentioned the fact that diet also plays a role. Diet is key. So eating a balanced diet is very essential, okay, for having a good sexual health or life. People have challenges with libido, and sometimes, especially for men, when it comes to diet, not just about the food. Some people take alcohol, some people smoke cigarettes, and these are some other uh, lifestyle factors that may affect negatively the person's sexual health. I know people are talking about Valentine's Day today, and different people have different perspectives. Talk about celebrating love and all. So there are different stories behind this celebration. But one very important thing to note is that love for God is very key. Love for God. I mean, understanding that you are not here by yourself, you have been sent to the world, not just through your father and mother, but uh, from one that has made all things, that created man. Okay, so that understanding must be there. And we cannot get that full satisfaction in life until we have actually gone back to Him that sent us, gone back in the sense that our hearts meet it with ease so strongly. Okay, that's talking about understanding uh, that the role that Jesus Christ has come to play in salvation for us to get back to God. Okay, so that love that we have seen expressed by God through Jesus' sacrifice, that we need to return with that, of course, by His grace, as much as possible, the level of love. And first of all, submitting ourselves, submitting yourself as an individual to God. I mean, becoming born again. That's the foundation for living the Christ kind of life. And Jesus was actually and is still an expression of God's love. He was going everywhere, doing good, healing the sick. He was feeding the hungry, He was teaching people, helping them to understand God and living that life that God wants his children to live. So he's our senior person. He's the one that's gone ahead of us, and we are to live like him on the earth. So there's nothing wrong in uh, communicating love, of course, but that foundation must be on God, understanding God's love. Then you must definitely, of necessity, love yourself. Most people that have challenges with giving love, expressing love, have that foundational problem of receiving God's love. So if you love God and you know that God loves you and you are able to connect well with Him, then expressing or communicating love to others shouldn't be a challenge. Okay. Of course, people have their different backgrounds, attitudes, and things that may happen within relationships that can affect the expression of love. But we need to always get back in position at any time that we have that challenge. Okay, so but when it comes to marital love, that foundation must be there. But one of the ways to also express love, of course, is through sex, because God put it there for satisfaction between husband and wife. Okay, so but if you are having a challenge in this, you need to, of course, see your doctor, need to communicate and express yourself. Some people may need some proper examination, assessment, investigations to be able to point out if there's any underlying medical factor that is affecting their sexual health. Now, some people have challenges with fertility, and of course, if there is no intimacy, there's usually, apart from other channels where people can get to to procreate, you know, there is that challenge of getting the sperm to fertilize the egg and then implantation and all. Okay, so these are matters that need to actually be practically discussed. And no matter the age, people are in different age groups actually have the desire for sex at different times in different ways. Okay, so there is that interesting aspect where the desire of the husband actually meets the desire of the wife, and the desire of the wife meets the desire of the husband. Okay, so that's pleasurable where it doesn't look like is is one begging, one is forcing. Those are different things that may seem to be happening in a marriage situation. Okay, so I believe I've been able to address some important points when it comes to sexual health. And then concerning the poll, people that voted, where are you now? People that voted for, the poll on the in the community, the post I did, not this poll, the post, about more than 70% voted for male, while about 20%, uh, maybe 22% voted that females have more sexual urges or desire than the male. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think? Okay, many people may be talking from their own experience, definitely. Okay, but really, studies have shown that men have more sexual um, urges or desires, and the explanations are related to this, the hormonal interplay, hormonal levels, especially for testosterone, and then the fact that men are actually more expressive, brain wired to relate to things that they see, things that we see actually, and then uh, able to talk and express themselves more than the female. Some people have backgrounds where they are not allowed to really talk. Maybe as a woman, the female, there's no room, and there's a form of discrimination which should not be. So it affects their expression in such things. Okay, so I'll be taking a break on this note, and then we will possibly come up later to continue on another discussion on this slide. Thank you for joining me, Tony. I believe I was able to answer some of your questions and everyone who joined in. So if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, remember to check out for the subscribe button. Look for the subscribe button. Maybe the three dots will show you, and then you'll be able to click, and then you can still like this live. Thank you for joining in. I'll see you again later. Bye for now. Bye.